Welcome to a vehicle that I've always skipped over. This is the Peugeot RCZ GT Line from 2015. Now, honestly, I had no interest in this vehicle until now, because today I want to see, is it worth your time picking up in Gran Turismo 7? So, if you want to get your hands on this vehicle, well, you need to head on over to Brand Central. This vehicle comes in at a cost price of 46,600 credits. For their money, you get a 1.6 liter engine that produces 152 brake horsepower, and it comes in at a weight of 1,350 kg. So honestly, it's not really that heavy at all. However, it does produce a little bit of power. Now for me, the biggest issue with this vehicle has to be the fact that the way it looks, just the way it's designed, it gives off the impression that it would be rear wheel drive. However, that's not the case. This is a front engine, front wheel drive vehicle, which I just have a feeling is gonna have enormous amounts of understeer. Hopefully I'm wrong, but hey, there's only one way to find out, and that's why taking it on over to Kyoto Driving Park and seeing what it's capable of. And straight right off the bat, this vehicle is not fast. You know when you can just jump into a vehicle and you just feel that there's no oomph, there's no push, there's no kick behind it. That's what I feel with this vehicle. But what can I expect for 150 brake horsepower? So this vehicle, when it comes to the history or just trying to see what the story is behind this vehicle, well, we see that everyone really just talks about the design of it. No one really talks about the performance of the vehicle. And look, the GT line, what that stands for is obviously the trim level of this vehicle. I think if it's not mistaken, it's a different grille, 19-inch wheels, the exhaust. That's what makes it the GT line. Just, it's like a top trim level. That's basically what it is. And it also has black leather interior that we cannot see. If I had the VR set, then obviously we could check, but yeah. So far, off handling, it's not bad. When I thought front engine, front wheel drive, I thought we're not going to be able to turn, the handling is going to be not good. However, that's not the case. The Peugeot is actually quite nippy, and when you turn in, it actually turns, it listens to you. It's not just running off circuit. Like coming up the hill here, it just feels painfully slow. I think that's the biggest issue with this vehicle. So once we head on over to the tuning shop and throw some money at it, hopefully we can get a decent amount of power. But right now, in a standard shape and form, it's not exciting, it's not exhilarating, I'm not really having fun. It just feels like this lap is dragging on forever, which is quite surprising, just because of the looks of this vehicle. It's up to you whether you like them or not, but frankly I thought, you know what, sporty styling, youthful looks, fast experience, it's not the case. This is the same thing like the 86 or the BRZ, where it looks sporty, it looks like it's gonna be fast, but it's not. So it gives off that time a 2 minute and 10 second lap. This thing is slow. I'm not even gonna do a second lap. This is bad. And wait, no, we need a tuning shop immediately, because this isn't gonna fly. This is not gonna work at all. And now, at a tuning shop, when it comes to power, I wanna aim for at least 400. That's my goal. I want at least 400 horsepower. I don't feel like we're gonna be able to reach that goal, but as long as we close to that mark, it should be somewhat decent. Final figures, the weight now comes down to 1,053 kgs, and we now produce 371 brake horsepower. So I still don't think this is going to be fast around the circuit, due to the fact of for me, if it has sub 600 horsepower, it's not gonna really set competitive lap times. But look, it's very lightweight, so maybe the lightweightness will help through the corners, but honestly, it's not looking good for a Peugeot. We do see, okay, it has very generic wide body kit that we can apply to it. Let's just slap it on. Now before we take the vehicle back out onto circuit, well, we have to update the looks. I mean, we updated the performance, so it's only right. So we see we have one option for a front lip, we have one option for a side skirt, and we have two options for a rear wing. And the type A rear wing, honestly, it's looking quite spicy. We have no roll cage, bonnet pin, tow hook. We have no front grille customization. So customization is quite average, nothing really wowing or anything along those lines. It's okay. Now we're gonna see what livery we can throw onto it to just make it look a bit more sporty. Okay, so now that we have the Peugeot fully upgraded, let's see what it's capable of. So when it comes to the sound of the car, we can really hear the turbo spool up on this vehicle. So now let's see what it is capable of. Okay, the turbo, it just really sounds like such a high pitch buzzing, like not a fan of that. So coming up to the first corner, 230 coming to the first corner before we slam on the brakes. And so far, quite planted. Now we do feel a bit of understeer when we exit the corner when the vehicle hits boost, but that is expected. But honestly, the vehicle is so stable. Like, you can really push it through the corners. It doesn't understeer badly. So I don't think we can even complain about this vehicle. Now look, it still lacks power. I'll be honest with you. It is moving a lot faster in standard, but compared to other vehicles, it just really isn't that fast. We saw understeer there. The vehicle was, I was turning full throttle and the vehicle was running straight. Okay, the fact that we aren't racing soft tires and it is lighting up the front wheels does show that, okay, the car does have power. And I will say this is possibly one of the best handling front wheel drive cars, because when it comes to just turning and everything, like you see, it's only a few moments when your foot flat coming out of corner and well you're still turning that you really see, okay, there is a bit of an issue. But the biggest issue is the fact that we still set a 1 minute 42.0. This vehicle is more than 5 seconds slower than what I consider a competitive vehicle. So when it comes to racing and the usage of this vehicle in Gran Turismo 7, I don't really see it having one, because right now, fully upgraded, I mean, we spent a lot of money to get the vehicle fully upgraded. It's simply just not performing the way it needs to. The vehicle should have been setting lap times closer to the 1 minute 38 second mark, 1 minute 87 second mark, but due to the fact of it has sub 500 horsepower, I mean it has sub 400 horsepower, we can't really expect it to be setting blistering fast lap times. So I don't really see this being a go-to vehicle, a vehicle that I would recommend that you need to go out and try out. If you're bored and you want to try out a Peugeot, by all means do go for it, but it's not one vehicle that I will put high up on the list of you need to try this out. It's an absolute blast. You gotta try it out. It's mandatory. It's mandatory. It's a vehicle that you can skip out on. After driving this vehicle, do I feel like I've been missing out? No. The vehicle's okay. It's not gonna knock your socks off. it's quite average. And I hate to say that about vehicles because every vehicle is special. It has a story, it has performance. But when you bring it to a game like Gran Turismo 7 and you have so many different other vehicles, uniqueness and ability to stand out is key. And sadly, the RCZ, look, it handles great, but due to the lack of power, I don't see myself returning to this vehicle. If we received an engine swap for this vehicle, for example the engine from the R35 GTR, I don't know why that was the first one to come to mind, but if we put that engine swap here, yes, it is still front wheel drive, it's gonna understeer like mad, but it's just gonna be so much more of an exciting experience, and it's gonna give me a reason to want to drive the vehicle. So with this being said, let me know your thoughts and opinions of the Peugeot in the comment section down below, and with this being said, I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.